Thursday, June 27th, 2019. And first on the agenda is to meet with Madigan Land Surveying regarding an A&R resubmittal for 45 Southport Street. Sir?
Yes, good evening. I'm Dave Madigan from Madigan Land Surveying. So just to kind of bring the board back up to speed, you weren't here, Brian. 2 weeks ago I was here, and we reviewed a Form A plan to create one lot from several parcels, just combine the several parcels and to create one buildable lot. The issue was that the land is agricultural, a lot of it's cranberry bog, so it's in chapter 61A.
Yes.
So the board felt that we should fix that or resolve that or find out what we have to do to do that. So Mrs. Rink, the last couple of weeks, has been working with the town.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, something she discovered and then consulted with town council, I guess, has reviewed it, and then the assessors chimed in. Basically, the moral of the story is, and it's also in the chapter 61A, they have a little handbook online, and it basically just says the first refusal option, which is the first right of refusal of the town, is not triggered if the change of use is for the construction of a residence for an immediate family member.
Correct.
So I guess everybody kind of reviewed that at the town level, and I believe the assessor has issued a letter to that effect
It's a new packet.
to Kathy, basically, excellent, saying, I guess there's no, so we just want to cover the town's interest, but I guess
Right.
the town doesn't chime in, I guess. So that just brings us back to the original Form A, which we kind of went through 2 weeks ago and tried to answer as many questions as I could, and I think everybody was pretty satisfied, and it was just a matter of clearing up this first right of refusal issue. You may not have seen it as much as the other members did, Brian, but basically there's a parcel A which is coming out of the front larger Nemasket cranberry piece, and then parcels B and C are coming out of the rear piece, and they're just being combined, the three of them, to create this lot one. And it meets the frontage, it has the front yard circle, it meets all the other requirements, access, public way, and it's for a single-family residence up in the back.
1A is parcel A, B, and C.
Yes, lot
Okay.
one is parcels A, B, and C, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those three areas are they culminate into
That's 209, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So this area within the driveway here.
That does not count.
Not count,
Right,
correct.
yep.
Okay.
We kept that out of there, yep.
Yep. Now, is this just after Conway's on the left?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
not a
You
Lakeville.
go past Conway's, down Southworth on the left-hand side. Awesome. Okay. I know right where it is.
Okay, are you ready? I move we certify this lot as a A&R.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 There you go.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Kathy,
Yeah,
for your help.
I knew that if you were gonna be transferring it
Can we
from
do them all
one
again?
part of the family to the
I
other.
wish you were
part of
here
the
2
family.
weeks ago.
Well,
But, no, it's good. 'cause
I
we all-
needed a break.
I learned something, so thank you.
I needed a break.
Thank you.
Welcome.
See you later. Good. It's nice to meet you.
I'll be in. Okay, please do.
Yeah. Okay, next on the agenda is to meet with Mr. Roland Barber regarding our release of covenant for Setecket Trail. Sir.
Okay, so I am Roland Barber, owner of Setauket Trail. So I'm here tonight, hopefully to have that lot released, the last lot released.
Okay.
That would be Lot E.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was a little bit of a problem with the town meeting and having the road accepted, all right?
Okay.
But it was just a minor thing.
Was that this year?
Yeah, it was,
I walked out.
what's that?
I walked out, I didn't hang around.
Oh, okay, so what happened is, the surveyors for the engineering firm kind of dropped the ball, and Franklin called me like a week before the town meeting and said, "Ron, you still have things to get done up there?" And I said, "Like what?" Well, some of the invert elevations that they wanted, the surveyors had never gone down and gotten them. So.
For your
of course-
as-built.
I'm sorry?
For your as-built.
For the as-built, correct.
Yeah.
So, my engineer, of course, was on vacation till the next day, got a hold of him, had the surveyors down there on Thursday, and had the updated plan on Friday.
Okay.
So, in the meantime, when you step back, the original inspection letter by Brian Trahan of Environmental Partners wanted me to mow the infiltration basin, which I did. Well, I had put a riser pipe in there to protect the overflow pipe. And it was covered over, which is fine, because it doesn't have any function except to protect that 6-inch overflow.
Yeah.
It's a single wall, 6-inch overflow. And back when we were constructing the basin, I remember talking to my engineer about it. I said, we're gonna be putting like 400 tons of stone in there. You don't want that single wall pipe just hanging out there in the middle. And he agreed. So I told him what my idea was. So what I did was I took a 24-inch HDPE double wall corrugated. I cut a 6-inch hole in it, turned it vertically,
Yep.
and I slid it right over that. So now the end of that 6-inch pipe is inside a heavy double walled corrugated pipe, all right? And then I put a top on it.
Is that HDPE perforated?
Okay, I perforated it myself. I took a 2-inch
Okay.
hole saw.
Yeah.
And in the rock zone, the stone zone, I drilled them all in.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, the water can come up from the bottom anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I set it on cement blocks.
Yeah.
So my engineer thought that was a great idea. So all it is for protection, it's for observation, you can get to it if you have to, but the big thing is protection.
Did you modify the design and somebody had a connection?
Okay, so here's the problem. When the surveyors came down, they saw the riser pipe there. They put it on the updated as-built.
Okay.
So Ryan said, we need that detail on the plan. We want the field conditions as it was built. So we didn't have a problem with that, but we couldn't do it on Friday, and then comes Monday, the town meeting, and we couldn't get a hold of Ryan. My engineer was trying to say, can we add it like tomorrow or next week or something like that. So they didn't want to do that. So then we tried to amend the article. We went to, I met Franklin at the high school. He had a meeting with town council and Rita, and it turns out that you cannot, it makes sense, you can't amend an article that close to a meeting. People don't have a chance to look at it.
Right.
So that is outstanding right now.
Yep.
All right, so Franklin said to me, he said, "Ron, get that done so I can write a recommendation letter. You'll be all set in the fall." So that's the only thing, except I still have to clean the catch basins now. He wanted the catch basins cleaned, but I had cleaned them in November. So I met Franklin and I think his name is Jim, I've forgotten his last name, the foreman. I met them up there so I could actually go over some things with them, and so they didn't have a problem with anything. And when Franklin told me that I needed to get the the basins cleaned again, even though I'd have them cleaned in November, he said, yeah, but I want them cleaned, like, right now, if we're gonna accept the roads, and then I don't have to worry about it this year, so I said, okay,
Right,
fine.
then he doesn't have to get you to come back to do it again.
Right, so I have an agreement with Franklin, and it's in writing too, that, so I still have to get the catch basins cleaned.
Yeah.
But as far as acceptance go, Ryan Trahan was on board as far as recommending the road to be accepted to the town. And he also, both Franklin and Ryan were on board to amend the article. They were willing to add that within the next week, but it wasn't allowed. So all performance conditions have been met. The road's finished. It's actually been finished for over 4 years now, really. But at least it's had the inspections now, so now everybody knows professionally.
Right, so it's been over 4 years with the finished coat on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And by this fall, it'll be 5.
5.
So even Franklin said, he said the road's in good shape, and he said, he commended me, he said that was a nice little subdivision, so.
Yeah.
There are no functional problems with the road or the drainage. Franklin even told me he went up there and sat during a rainstorm to make sure the drainage was working. So they've covered all the bases. So even though there's that little item that still needs to be done, I haven't even been able to get my engineer up there. I'd like to get the lot released. And I don't know why there would be a problem in releasing it, since everything's
Did you happen to
done.
get a letter from Franklin?
He told me to get that little detail done, and then he would write a recommendation letter.
Okay.
And I have an email here that actually Ryan Trahan actually said that he was okay with it, and he would recommend it to the town when we get those couple of little things done.
Now Ryan Trahan is who?
From Environmental Partners, he was the peer review engineer that the selectmen hired.
Selectman Hyde?
Yeah,
Well, for a road acceptance,
yeah, for road acceptance, yeah.
Oh,
they
Okay.
can do that. They don't usually do that. We usually do that, and we usually use somebody else. But there's really,
that would work.
yeah, I mean, but there's no harm in whoever it is.
Right.
Yeah,
Do you have that with you?
yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
Do you have any, are you going to make a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion to release a lot. He's absolutely done. He's been done for years.
Do you feel comfortable?
Yeah, so it has a street accepted street sign now. It has
Yes.
It has like
I
all your
had-
bounds are all in.
Yeah, everything is done, yes. I actually had to have that street sign in before the first lot was even
Oh, really?
allowed to be built. Well, no, that's not true. The first lot was allowed to be built, but before it could transfer to the owners, before they could close on it. I remember, that was back when Chris Peck was there, and he said, no, you're required to have a street sign. So,
Okay.
which makes sense. If you're gonna have a house with people, you wanna have the street sign
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
All right, so, there's like a lot of emails, but just to condense this, I understand from speaking with Franklin that the storm scepter, this is from Ryan Trahan, okay? I understand from speaking with Franklin that the storm scepter unit has been cleaned, and he has the paperwork for the unit. That was one of the things that I had to provide was like the manual and the paperwork for maintenance of the storm scepter.
Yep.
So
Oh, I know.
I went over that with Franklin, gave him the paperwork. It's really not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
There was some question of the catch basins still needing being cleaned. Okay. I didn't think they needed to because I had them done in November. Franklin wants them done again. There's no problem there. He's allowed me to get them done when I can. Now, what I need to do is ask Franklin, does he still want me to get them done now or wait till the fall? My preference would be to wait till the fall, but I'll leave that up to him. You know, so, has this been performed? Okay, so the short answer is no, but you know the whole story at least. He has two concerns that need to be clarified from my conversations with Franklin. Is the existing flared end shown on the plans intended to discharge to the detention basin? If so, it needs to be uncovered so it properly functions, surveyed and shown on the as-built plan. All right, they didn't understand that that's an infiltration basin, not a retention or a detention basin. All right, so there's no flared end to expose.
You would have a flared end.
That's right. It's that pipe is like, what, 4 or 5 feet down in the stone. But we do have those inverts. The surveyors got them out of the storm scepter, and I already had the elevation on that outfall pipe, whatever you want to call it, the
Right.
in-pipe. I already had that, so we provided that. He wanted the utilities on the plan, we did that. All right, so that was obviously taken care of. Phil Cordero, the engineer from Allen and Major, explained to him that it was an infiltration basin.
Allen and Major.
Yes.
It's a blast in the past.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah.
They're still there. They're so busy, I haven't even been able to get him out.
Yeah.
Because I want to take pictures, we're going to take measurements of that riser pipe. It's very simple.
Did you have the as-built plan done?
Yeah, well, it's finished except for that little bit of detail on the riser
Right.
pipe. Otherwise, I have another email where he not only did it once, but then they updated it.
Right.
Okay?
So
So
it
yeah,
has to be
that's all
submitted
set.
to us.
Okay,
That's crucial.
okay.
And what we require also is we require the design elevations on it, and then beside them, or beneath them on the drawing,
Yeah.
is the as-built elevations in parentheses. So we can
Okay.
tell what the design was and what the existing is.
Okay. All right.
And we've really required that for probably 10 years now.
Mhm. Okay, so the next item was, does this pipe instead discharge to an underground infiltration bed, which it does? Okay, so if so, we need additional information on the plans about the construction layout, section details, and maintenance history. All right, so he's got all that, but when Phil put the cross-section in there, it was of the original plan, it didn't have the riser pipe on it.
Right.
Because the surveyors never saw it in the first place. All right, so that's the only thing that has to be added.
Right.
And then, after these remaining items are completed, I can recommend to the town to accept the plan. Okay. I don't know if there's any other relevant. Here's an email showing that Franklin and Ryan Trahan were on board as far as trying to amend the plan.
Right.
Amend the plan, amend the article.
Yeah,
So that we
yeah.
could go to the town meeting and get it accepted. Okay, I've got that here. I've got quite a few here.
As a,
This
yeah,
is what I was gonna need. What's that?
no, I was, it's a separate issue of releasing the surety. And we don't have any cash,
Yeah, that's right.
we're holding a lot.
Yeah, I never.
This lot E.
Yeah, I never.
And
put a bond
I
on
would,
it.
I don't think we require any surety to finish what you're doing.
No.
And I would move, if Brian's ready, I would move to release, do the Form F, release Lot E, and let you sell the lot.
Yeah, I would appreciate that.
Is that a motion thing?
Yes.
A second.
All in favor?
I do have one question, and all in favor, aye.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
One question, and it doesn't, so, did the Board of Selectmen ask you about the storm scepter and about, your cost to get it cleaned? Cause you've had it cleaned,
Yeah,
right?
it cost me $500.
500?
Yeah.
How many times have you had it done in the 5 years that you? I'm
That
just
would-
getting a feel for, cause I know this is a source of contention, and I'm just bringing it forward.
Yeah, that was the first time.
The town doesn't have a truck that cleans this.
That's right, they don't have
So-
a vac truck, that's right. That's why it's expensive.
moving forward,
So they wanted me to do the first manhole and the storm scepter.
Okay.
I took pictures, it's already been re-inspected, and to be honest with you, after I did the storm scepter, the technician there, he said it wasn't bad,
Yeah,
but it looked brand new. By the time he was done, it actually looked brand new.
okay.
That road's been in for close to 11 years now. This fall will make 11 years. And I tell everybody that whole subdivision went through the flooding in, what was it, 2010 or 2011?
2010?
They're saying that was a 500-year storm, and that drainage was built for a 100-year storm. I had zero problems up there, and I tell everybody that, and I never had. The drainage was working beautiful, even with all that rain. I didn't have any trouble. So, and it's still fine.
Yeah.
So,
He also lives a quarter mile away, so.
yeah.
So you've seen it. Yeah, you should, you know.
And
you witnessed it.
obviously I have the order of compliance, so that, I've got that too, obviously, that, I did that first.
Okay, so we'd be really interested to see that as-built plan.
Yeah,
That comes to us, we keep that on record.
okay, yeah, not a problem. What I need to do next is get the engineer, Phil Cordero, up there. I mean, I can do it myself, but I want him there. I want him to see it, I want him to take pictures.
Yep.
And, because it's just a matter of taking some tape measurements, that's all.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got the elevation at the top, right? You just measure down the length of whatever that riser pipe is, I'm guessing it's not more than 4 feet.
Mhm.
You know, get the width and put the type of cover on it, and that's all. Put the elevation of the 6-inch pipe.
Right, would you be able to give that email to Kathy for our records?
She has them all, but if she doesn't, I can give them all to her.
Do you have,
I thought these were all being CC'd to you. I actually don't
No.
see your name here,
I
though.
didn't get
Okay,
any of those.
all right, okay. Yes, I can. I
Where,
can give this to her.
where did they go?
I'm sorry.
Where did you send them?
Let's see, it was Phil, the engineer, me, Rita Garbett, and Ryan Trahan, the engineer, and Franklin Moniz. So,
Yeah, there's,
let me see here.
should have sent her one too.
yeah,
Cordero, Ron Barber, Franklin Moniz, Rita Garbett, town administrator. Okay, that's all I have here.
Yeah.
So-
And until the town accepts it, it's like still our road, so we're supposed to,
Until the
We're supposed to
town accepts
shovel.
it, it's my road, isn't it?
what?
Until.
No, no,
still
of
under
course
our
it's your road.
jurisdiction.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah,
okay.
but we still
okay,
have to shuffle the papers for it
Okay,
until the town accepts
okay.
it. And then after that, we don't do it anymore.
okay.
So we're going for this in the fall?
Yeah, the town meeting, yeah. I
Perfect.
mean, because I want to get this done. I
Yes.
would've had it done last week,
Yeah, I know.
but I haven't got Phil up there yet, so it's pretty simple.
Mhm.
But yes, I'll get it
As-built
done.
is very important, and I think
Right.
that's it. And those emails to Kathy, and you should be good to go.
You can have these right now.
Thank you.
Let me see if okay, so, and you have the copy of the inspection letter, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't need that. I think that might be the only one that I labeled, that one, the top one there. Okay, so if you have any other questions, you can get a hold of me. So now, you can sign the Form F, correct, and it has to be
I
notarized?
have the original.
Do we have a notary here?
I have it, no. I have the original,
You-
Brian.
I know back when Pauline was here.
You don't have your stuff?
We can do what we did last time.
Did you have a problem last time when we signed it?
There was no problem,
No.
I think.
Town, because the town clerk has all our signatures on file.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But nevertheless, you're gonna be keeping that tonight.
Well, yeah, but you can have it tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Do you need,
I don't
do
need
you
that
need any
quickly.
additional
No,
one or
that
just
was
the one?
just
Okay.
the one. That was just for you.
You're buzzing.
Okay.
Okay, and you,
And
Peter has to sign
Okay. Then you.
it. Yeah, and then I'll take it with me. And I'll
Gotcha.
get the clerk to sign it tomorrow morning, and I'll give it to Ron.
How do you like them apples?
Thank you I appreciate it, thank you. It's been a long time.
Dated?
Yep.
She's gonna
They
date
can
it
take
tomorrow?
it.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, tomorrow,
Yes.
right.
The clerk will date it.
So you're gonna notarize it then, or?
No, the town clerk.
The clerk, okay.
Clerk.
Clerk tomorrow morning.
All right, so are we square?
We are.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Look forward to seeing your as-built.
Okay,
I get a kick out of as-built plans.
okay, everybody has their thing.
All right.
All righty. Take it easy, have a good one.
See you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks, Ron.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, see you.
Okay. So, we have a Board of Appeals petition for a Tracy or Duda?
See his plans, Brian?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's quite a place.
Yes. Skyscraper.
That's, quite a house.
It is good.
Sure is.
Lot to fit in that lot, huh?
I think it's 3 stories. That light, that glass at the top up there, up in the gable, I believe is, just the light.
Existing house and deck. Well, it's actually thinner than the existing house.
And that's what they invented Board of Appeals for.
That's right. Pleasure, gentlemen.
I move we forward it with no comment.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nice plans though.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they're the routers that I know.
I see the, poker table. Might as well put it in there.
Well,
No, this is one of those meetings where you wrote down everything they said. And I cringe again. You know, it's,
Why are you reading some of the stuff you said, Zink?
no, it wasn't what I didn't say anything that. Oh,
Oh, okay, I remember this.
what?
I just,
You took those minutes off?
there were other
So-
things I wanted to say too. It was just,
You write these minutes?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't here that. I took it from,
The film?
yeah.
Just, yep, dictation. See? Oh my God, full of shores.
yeah.
Have they ever gotten back in touch with us about coming in?
No.
Our engineer's ready to go. I mean, he was going to get his spine fused, but he said he was willing to talk to them, over the phone
I
while
can
he was
follow up
lying in the hospital bed.
if you want me to.
Yep. And they just haven't gotten back in touch with us. It was a nice meeting I had with him. I didn't lead him at all. Got an engineer.
Right.
Who's gonna, is the town gonna pay his time for his consulting on this matter?
Yeah,
Yeah, all right. Just,
I just met with him for like 2 hours,
okay. No,
and then he went in and saw the ladies at the town hall.
okay.
But he, everything that I said at the meeting, he told me. I said, that's good to know.
Motion to approve the minutes from April 25th and March 28th.
I'll second those.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. These your plans?
Yes.
They're Mr. Zinkowitz's plans, right?
No,
No?
they're your print, right?
It looks
Or I
like,
printed them.
No, I did the maps based on our conversation
Okay.
yesterday.
and, the ones having to do with Kenneth Welch Drive. Right?
Yes.
Well, first, we talked a little bit before the meeting about, what we would do as far as, identifying where we would permit, where we would like to permit the, facilities to be, the marijuana facilities. And, just for anyone who's watching on Lake Cam, this is, we are trying to identify where we would like to have marijuana facilities in the town of Lakeville. In industrial land, right now it is slated to be on any industrial land in town. What we wanted to do was we wanted to limit it to areas that would be more conducive. Would that be a good word for that, Zink?
Sure.
More conducive to an influx of people coming to buy marijuana from the facilities. We just, I believe, I wasn't at the meeting when we had this discussion, but I believe we were trying to eliminate the possibility of a massive influx of people coming down and just inundating back roads that weren't currently able to handle that traffic flow. Correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. So we had elected to identify areas that were on Route 44 Harding Street, which is on 44. The industrial property, which is at Millennium Drive, Millennium Circle. And it was also mentioned that we would like to have them on Kenneth Welch Drive, on land that is fronted on Kenneth Welch Drive, not so much on Bedford Street, and not so much on Rhode Island Road, but on Kenneth Welch Drive proper. And right now, we have some maps in front of us, some plans that would identify those areas. Does anyone want to speak to that?
These are the maps that would go along with the package that would go to town meeting. The one on 44 Harding Street is pretty clear when it's this big. What's hard to notice is that these, parcels 2 or postage number 2 and 4 on Harding Street are actually a business zone. So they were never, these were never.
2 and 4, you said?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that they happen to be in the business zone.
Is
So-
4 like the pet food place?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So they were never eligible for marijuana under any old system at all.
That's not within the demarcation of the property.
Right here.
The dark lines, right?
Yes, right. This is business.
Yeah.
Those are both business, as is the across the street business.
Yeah, Muckies, yeah.
So this covers all of the industrial, but people wouldn't notice on our large scale, on our regular maps, it's hard to see those little details. I mean,
Correct.
just a tiny little line that helps you with that.
Yes.
The same thing on Kenneth Welch Drive, the very last parcel out here, although it is industrial, it happens to be a very nice house. And it's been residential for, probably the last 50 years, or since the very nice house was built. No one ever intended that to become a marijuana. And
Is that 86?
that is 86, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Rita used to live there?
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's one of the Barricas, right?
I have it on a different list, I don't remember. I think you're right. I think you're right. And everything else that has frontage on Kenneth Welch, all of these are industrial. And the thing is, everything that we did last year with the applicants for marijuana uses is covered in the 2 areas that we're showing here. A lot of it was in number 310, and there's some, I remember 425 was one of the addresses we had. We certainly had stuff at 200. There was a medical one there, and there was talking of, they talked about some other numbers which I won't mention, but a lot was in this industrial park. What wasn't there, remember 415 was a very nice, we did a site plan for that. And they were talking about, that same outfit was also talking about a second place over on 200. So we've covered, we haven't raised any problems with what's already in the mill,
Yeah.
what's already in process
Right.
with this map. We intend, I believe, if you want to start, that we're going to be identifying everything as lot, block.
Right, I'll have
And
to have
map.
a conversation
Yeah.
after, we finish the conversation here, I'll speak with town council
Yeah.
to get the proper direction as to what we need for content, whether it is by map, block, and lot, or if it's considered an overlay and includes, this area. So I'll have to use their direction on how, we'll
Right.
present that for a town meeting and make sure that the language is correct for the bylaw.
Yeah.
So Zink, is there anything on the south side of 44 that you that you could include now, or nothing?
There's nothing,
Industrial.
not this
Industrial at
way,
all.
not this way.
You'd
because
have to take it a whole different way if you ever wanted to do
You'd have to
it.
rezone it
you'd
industrial.
have to-
Gotcha.
right. There is nothing industrial on the south side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I can, Mr. Chairman, is your intent for for medical and adult use to keep adult use and medical in those 2 areas?
Yes.
I think so, yeah, right?
Yes, that's the way the table of uses reads to me. If we can just modify the table of uses, is one way of explaining this, in our bylaw. The other way is to make a overlay district, but I'm afraid that the town council has to advise that. I can't.
Find out the best way.
I think the easiest way is one way, but I'm not I have to ask town council. You have to ask somebody.
Well, you guys brought, you folks, I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Well,
There was we only got the ball rolling because this is something that we hope to have voted on in the special town meeting, which will happen either in September or October.
Yeah.
The way our schedule runs, I wanted to get a first vote, so we, just in case we needed 2 weeks' notice for the selectmen, we satisfied that by doing it from last week. Now the 2 weeks has elapsed, so
Yep.
if you read the bylaws one way, it says we should notify them, and then they in turn notify us.
Yeah.
Which,
Personally, I think this is more critical with the recreational marijuana.
yep,
I don't think it's as critical with the medical or the grow facilities or with the manufacturing or with anything else other than the recreational marijuana, because I think the recreational sales is what is going to draw the greatest amount of people, and that's what my problem was all along. Personally,
Can I ask a question?
sure.
Would changing this zoning affect a company from being able to move in based on their distances to residents, right? They would still be able to come into, say, in the industrial parks, I think, lots 100 and 100, those distances to those, nothing changes there, correct?
those lots are the town, are the town dump.
That's the transfer station,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I'm just trying to pick, just try to think of every possibility here.
Well, let's-
Like 305, let's say, compared to 17 and 19 being residential homes on Carriage House Drive.
Right.
Nothing's changed, so if they couldn't put distance-wise, if they couldn't put a grow facility in there before, they still can't.
Right, this was 305, before was eligible for any sort of marijuana at all. And it remains.
It remains the same, yeah. Okay.
That's the thing. All of the ones that we're proposing, that's why it's hard to call it an overlay, because everything we're proposing is to leave as existing.
Right.
There's just some of them we didn't include in the proposal this time. That's the,
Yep.
Right, but the reason why I'm thinking that it would be an overlay district that would permit it is that all other districts would not permit it. And right now, we have industrial parcels in town that would be, it would be permissible to build them on them if they were just considered industrial. If the zoning would just, would allow in industrial zones. These two industrial zones, where we want to try to identify them as being the two industrial zones permitted to have marijuana facilities on them. That's why you could put an overlay district and then ask the town to have marijuana facilities in the overlay districts.
right.
As opposed to in the any industrial district.
I agree with you.
Because now we're trying to limit something that we've already agreed to let go in any industrial district.
You are exactly correct. Yes,
I know.
what you said is correct. That, I believe that, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's why town council has to give us
That's-
that
yes.
direction.
Right.
Okay.
So we have, because of the way our schedule is, we have a single meeting in August. And that single meeting in August is the meeting that we should have the public hearing on this topic. Now, there's a schedule before the public meeting, you know, so there's roughly a month or maybe like 3 weeks before before our hearing, where we'd have to know what exactly we have for wording.
Yeah,
So we could get that done.
yes.
That could get done in that time, but we should commit now to schedule a, you know, and advertise a public meeting for the mid-August, for our mid-August meeting.
Is that 15th?
And we'll have I don't have the,
Do you know if that's the 15th?
I think it's the 8th.
8th?
August 8th, Kathy?
that's the only one we have in
In August.
Well, that's the one we have to do.
Now, that's not too early. I mean, it's not too early for, you know, for fall meeting.
They're saying September or October they want to have the meeting.
It's not too late, it's not too early, right?
Okay.
And so that's,
Yeah, okay. Now, do you do the same abutter distribution? I mean, this is a zoning change, right? I know.
it's already allowed.
Right. I agree, I'm just asking.
I'd certainly ask town council that question.
Yeah.
That's a very, very good question. But it's already an allowed use. How can someone object to it? We're limiting it rather than expanding it.
Right, except for the people that,
Would like to build on their property, yeah.
Right, those people would have issue with it if there
They-
was a
they-
group
they
of
might
5
have an
or a
issue.
group of 6 people that are going
Right.
together and saying, hey, let's just sell our houses.
Yeah,
or even a one,
but
I
you're
don't
not gonna have
think
any
that's happening
neighborhood.
because those are very nice streets, you know what I mean?
Right.
But, some, you know, Carriage House in Surrey Drive or, you know, they're not industrial, right in here, you know?
There can't be an issue in Millennium.
there's
No, no,
one- There's
that
one
one's-
on Route 79 that might object to us taking it out of theirs.
Oh, that's, I mean, I guess if I were them, I'd go to the town meeting, you know?
And the biggest ones are, you know, like Francion, Tia Edwards.
Yeah. Franciscan.
Franciscan.
We don't own that anymore, right?
Oh, there's a whole big middle of it that's still owned by Franciscan.
Yes.
Yeah. Like 650 acres, yeah. It's,
Nice grow facility
yeah.
on the train line,
What?
on the train line. So, are we pretty good with that? We're good?
Are you okay with the map, the outline, everything that's on there?
Absolutely.
I like both of them, yep.
We'll clean them up.
Yep.
You know, for town meeting and public hearing, so. But just to get you to visualize what the area that you're looking to address.
So since, let's see, we won't be meeting, when do we meet next?
11th, July.
2 weeks from tonight.
So you won't be advertising it before the 11th, or
No.
when would you advertise for?
My deadline would be the 16th
July 16th?
to go on the 25th and the 1st.
Well, this is simple enough then, I mean,
Would you say July 15th, Kathy, was your deadline?
16th.
The 16th?
Mhm.
Okay. Because we can't put out a public notice unless we have the language for the public notice.
So the 16th of August is our deadline?
Of
No,
July.
July.
Our deadline for the
We have-
meeting, yes.
I'll
In
reach out
August.
to town
but,
council
but,
tomorrow.
but absolutely, I understand the idea, yes.
Yeah.
But
So
it's,
it'll be a little aggressive, but I think that,
mean,
Give it a
That's
shot,
separate, yeah.
yeah.
I'll reach out tomorrow.
yeah, I don't think there's any other schedule we can do it on.
I mean, I can't speak for the rest of the board, but if this is important enough for myself, and that if we get jammed up, we should have a second meeting in August. I'm a big fan of the August vacation, but I would put that aside to, if we started to get jammed up for time, you know? You know what I mean?
Yep,
So,
yep. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with Peter.
Even we could switch the meeting maybe to the following week. That's another option.
yep, yeah, so it'd be, like a 3-week stretch.
Yeah.
Yep, rather than 5, almost, yeah.
I remember the days when we used to take one meeting every month in the summertime. That was our summer schedule. Thanks, Al.
You, gonna make a motion for the public hearing?
Oh, okay, yeah.
We have to wait, but.
Yes, let's, we'll have I move we hold a public hearing for the marijuana/industrial
Zoning change.
zoning change.
This is a very good way to do it too, with
Yeah.
the colors.
Yeah.
Do you think that this whole thing should have, like, have the same color coding, green throughout? You know,
Yep, I can do whatever you.
the OCD's kicking in and I'm like, I like
I
the
know,
green.
I saw it.
I think you're right.
You know what I mean? Cause then people would be like, oh, yeah, I get it, you know, cause then they might look at this and be like, what? But it, you know what I mean?
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
I think anyone who says anything about how to make it clearer should get listened to. Because everyone sees things differently. That's plenty of,
Zink, you're practically
that's
in a
plenty
butter
of
with
real
this
estate.
place.
Pardon?
I said you're practically in a butter. You're not far.
Oh, yeah. I visited the hospital a lot today, and I can report that there's nothing going on there. There is nobody.
All quiet?
It's really quiet. It is really quiet. It's hard to find a track where you can drive because it's all grown in.
Oh, really?
No one's been back there. No one's been surveying. No one's been doing anything except the lot that was going to be Turner's.
Oh, yeah.
That was all laid out, and they had some. They had done some site investigation, but that's the only place anything happened. At the hospital.
Right.
There's so much space back there.
Did you make a motion?
Oh, I was trying to have a public motion to hold a hearing on August the. Can you help me, Kathy? At 7:30.
August the 8th.
At 7:30, August 8th.
Senior center?
For the
Marijuana industrial.
marijuana/industrial zoning change.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Unless we move to the police station, we gonna go to the police station?
And then Brian, and what they had worked out was the timing backs up to like the 16th, by the 16th of July, you need the words.
We need all the wording done. Right.
So,
Okay, so that would put us at, because we're gonna have to vote the wording.
After,
Doesn't that
well,
make
after the
sense?
hearing.
No,
No.
we're gonna vote the wording to present to the
Presented it,
hearing,
okay.
don't you think?
So we'll see what we can do about trying to get something for July 11th.
Yes, that would be very nice.
I'll communicate that with town council, that that would be your next scheduled meeting.
Right, because we don't wanna come in here on the 8th of August and say, this isn't what we were talking about,
Right, right.
been there before. Okay.
My marching orders.
Anything?
you. Huh?
Nothing?
Anything else? Anything else you can think of?
I can't.
I did last week I went to the, zoning board review advisory committees. We proposed to the ZBA, because, they wanna start working on the seasonal, properties. And its take to us is gonna be very limited. The Board of Health is gonna, is really gonna take the ball, as they already have most of it, so I'm just letting you guys know that that's what what we went to. The ZBA was very accommodating to letting the Board of Health sort of, set it up and get it running, As far as getting rid of seasonal properties that have access to year-round water. Because there's between 100 to 200 homes that are gonna get full-time water, and they're still listed as a seasonal property. And
Who's
they,
providing the water to them?
I don't know the name of the company, it's a series of wells and then water lines that are all being built.
And they got some federal money,
Right,
and they,
And it's all private?
private,
it's all private.
yep. I was a
Big
little
enough.
surprised at the price, that each person was paying or would have to pay, but
Too
I,
expensive.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was, but I guess that's the cost of, going there, so.
And they don't have to put in sewage.
Correct, yeah,
And the bigger it gets, the cheaper it gets.
you're right,
But right now, they're still at the awkward stage
of price,
No,
you
just-
still
just-
have all the capital
Just,
expense split up amongst not enough people.
right,
just from my personal opinion, the Board of Health can allow, people to bring in water and provide people with water so they can no longer have to be concerned with the overflow of their septic system into their wells. But for the longest time, we've been concerned with the fact that the overflow not only goes into the wells, but it goes into the pond, and it causes what they call a eutrophication of the pond, which is an overgrowth of
nitrogen,
well, it's a plume of nitrogen that causes the overgrowth of the vegetation in the pond, and it clogs the pond up. And
It robs the oxygen.
it robs the oxygen out of the pond, it ends up killing the fish. It's actually a wonderful thing if you're trying to make uplands out of wetlands, because,
it's gonna dry out.
yeah, it does that. So I don't know if they have taken that into consideration. I'm guessing no.
Well, I actually, the driving factor is that everybody who is going to upgrade their water and get year-round water will be getting, or will be required to get, a modern septic system with and they can either pay for it themselves, or the town has the money available to help them through the Board of Health. The Board of Health has, they say, in excess of millions of dollars to help them if
Yeah.
needed, so. I don't think, I can't speak for them, I don't think anybody can have a substandard, septic system and
Right.
hook up to the water lines
No,
at the, with the
no,
proposal.
but even if you have a septic system that's working relatively well, you're still putting a load of nitrates and phosphates into the groundwater
Right.
that ends up going into the pond.
I mean, yeah, these are houses that are already there.
I know.
So, you know, right now, they shut down in October or November, and they open back up in April.
Which gives the nitrates and the phosphates a chance to deplete before they get loaded again in the
Right.
spring. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I know how it runs, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And the replacement houses are
Yeah, like that,
like that.
yeah. That's the way it is.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.